I'm going to be holding this trade because I think it has potential. But as you can see, today we made over 135k. We had lost some good cash last week. If you get last week, we had some big losses, majorly from gold and other crazy pairs. But this boom sell took our account to the greatest. If you go to the chart and bid on boom, I was actually selling. If you go to the H1, I was selling all the way from here. I sold price all the way from here. If you observe, so we entered in my sales. I took out at around, I think, 33. 33 was around here, I think. Yeah, that's where I took out. But as you can see, I sold all the way from there. Now, why did I take my sales at that area? To get that answer, you have to go to the H1, okay? From the H1 perspective, there is a level of support over here. So we saw that anything that goes underneath this level, price usually has a massive sell. So why did I close out? Because price was approaching this level and momentum was actually dropping, okay? And also on top of that, price is making what? Higher levels of support. So I'm a bit skeptic on what price can do next. Price can simply do as it did on gold, because on gold, what price did, it came underneath this zone, and then after some time we had this massive push to the upside. So there are so many tactics, but the first tactic that I'm looking for now, my strategy anyways, price has to be underneath this level for me to sell, right? So once price goes underneath this level, what does it mean? This is a level where we had support previously. If you observe, price was pushing up from this area the first time until price came and broke the zone. That means that we are sellers underneath this area of support who pushed price down. So if price comes above this level once more time, okay, if we have this massive push to the upside maybe, and price does indeed come underneath this level one more time, then we can start to staking ourselves for sales, okay? But so far, we have seen that we had a bit of an area of resistance in the market. From the daily perspective, price had a bit of resistance here, and then price ended up breaking that area. So anything above that area, although we have gone back in time, you know that anything above this area over here is going to be good for buys also, because it was an area of resistance before in the market, before price broke through, giving us the indication. So therefore, we're expecting that after the indication move, price could potentially have another push to the upside. So basically, what I'm waiting for right now is for price to come above this level. Okay. So let's wait a bit and see what price does. But yeah, that's all that I'm looking for in these trades. So far, we have seen that this is an area of support in the markets. This over here is an area of support, and once price broke through, we had this massive sell-off. So the second time that price breaks through, we may have another sell-off. So we have to be a bit patient here and see what price gives us in the next coming candles. But usually I don't usually trade boom 1000 right now. We shall go to another pair which is a bit active, which is V25 1S. So on V25 1S, you see that price is actually has made a very huge good drop. I go to the H1 so that I can analyze price better, and from the H1 perspective, we have a level of we have cells over here. So this is a bit of an area of, this is a high, okay? This is a lower high in the market, and price made a new lower low in the market. So what do we expect? We expect that if price goes above this level one more time, we had another area of support. Now, most of you guys ignore these areas, but also this is a lower low, lower high in the market. Price made a new lower low. Lower high, lower low, and then lower high, lower low. So price has come above this level the second time. The first time, price gave us the indication. The second time, now we may have another push to the upside. So for our pair here, I'll be taking in my buy entries. Where would I put my TP? Usually, I usually have to go to the H4 because that's where I get my TP. So I'll put one position for a buy, and I'll leave it to run throughout the night. Stop loss for this one can be just underneath this level of support at 10k. And then if we are to hold, we shall hold at two price, which is this next area of support, which is around 21k. So it'll be like a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio for this one, okay? If I enter another position, it may hit my TP, although I would have risked over 40k to make 80k. So I'll add just one more position, because I know that if price manages to break out of this pattern, we may see another push to the upside, okay? So over here, so my stop loss for this one is going to be a bit lower than this type. And then I'll be aiming for the next area where we see buyers come into the market, so which is around 17k for this one. And yeah, so I'm risking 14 to make 17 for that trade. Let's see how this one goes. Okay, let's see how this one goes. I don't usually use the left a lot, but for you guys who want to use the left, we have an area of support over here. Price never came. It came above this area only once. Oh God, I have so many zones here that. Okay, so above this area, price is what? Is bullish, and you see that price has indeed come above that area one more time. Okay, so we're expecting another massive push the upside above that level. First of all, price respected structure. If you observe, we have a previous low over here. Price never broke it. Instead, it respected structure and came above the same zone where we saw that there was massive buying. So the next time price does this, I'm going to be expecting another massive buy. I don't know up to where, but the first target that I'm looking for is around 17k and then 20. I don't know. Let's wait and see what price gives us. But as you can see, so far in a loss, we are drifting from 1k to 10k to 1k. But let's wait and see what price gives us. Meanwhile, for my other account, this is the 5k account that took up to 31k, but we're now stopping at 29k. If you go to history for today, we have seen that we deposited 12k and we made profit of 12k. So I think we just doubled our profit. Okay, so I go to USDJPY because we are in the coming to the New York session, and the price is actually starting to push down. So from the New York session, we have seen that price has been so far selling for USDJPY. This was an area of support. Price broke through the first time, so this is the second time that price broke through. What do I mean it broke through the second time? So the second time that price broke through this level, if you guys observe, price came, broke through the level. That was the first indication that underneath this level, price is what? Bearish. I don't know if you guys observe this candle over here. Price came and broke through this level. That was the first indication that underneath this level, price is what? Bearish. Then we have this pullback candle that collected liquidity all the way to the top, and then after some time, price came underneath this same zone. So here, would have taken your entries. If you had a small account, you would have put a sell here, maybe like of 0.1, 0.01 here, and then a TP. That would have been only $1, but you could have held until you reach around $4 of TP. Okay, because also if you observe, I don't really go to the left a lot because I have told you guys there isn't much information that you can use from the left. But so far, above this, underneath this area, price is bearish. So it gives us the first indication, and then we have the next continuation to the downside. But yeah, that's it for USDJPY. Now for gold, I really want to see what gold USD is doing, because I'm expecting another massive push before we close off the day. And we see that price is actually potentially trying to push. As I told you guys that above this area, price is bullish. Okay, the first time that price went above this area, we had some bit of a pullback. So as I was like, if price goes underneath, we may have a sell, but if price goes above, we may have another buy. So that's why I took my entries here. So I'll just show you guys where I took my entries and where I. Let's go to this trade history. If you go to trade history over here, you realize that I took my entries from around, these are how many? 3 candles. So I took the entries from around here. Took the entries, my buys from around here. And I had price all the way up to there. That could have given me around, let me see, around 14 pips. Okay, that's around 14 pips. Yeah, around 14 pips of TP. But if you had held maybe let's say from here all the way down up to here, that would have been around 35 pips. But if you want to be holding even more bigger trades, what you do, you go to the H1. Let me first move these indicators. So it's trade history. You go to the high time from like the H4, the H1, and what do you observe from the H4? For instance, price gave us the first indication for sales by going underneath this level of support. We had a level of support over here. Price broke through the first time, giving us the indication that underneath this level, price is what? Bearish. So what happened is that price, after it gave us the indication, we are now just waiting for price to give us a bearish structure. So how do you find a bearish structure? It's very simple. If you want to find the bearish structure, go to the time from like a M5 and notice how structure is being built. Okay, what do you observe from the M5? You go even to the M1 to even observe even more clearer structure. So from the M1, what do you observe? Price is actually now starting to become what? Bearish. We have a previous higher low over higher high over here, and price is failing to break that previous higher high. So we may see another resistance to the downside. But I can't sell right now. Why can't I sell right now? Because I have no clear direction of where the market can stop. Price can just stop here and then make another push to the upside. So for me to get a clear indication of where price can stop, it has to be underneath this level of support over here. We see that this is an area of support before in the market, though in the M1 it's a bit hectic, but bear with me, okay? This is an area of support, so I can simply enter in my sales, but I'll use only 5 lot because I don't want to over risk for this one. This is the late hours of the New York session, therefore I don't really want to go so deep into like over leveraging, okay? So I'll put there my TP. My stop loss is gonna be just around 153k. Okay, we shall go with the 3k stop loss, okay? And then the TP is gonna be at around 4k. So we know that underneath that level of support, price is bearish. Also, the second level of support that we had that price broke through is this one over here. So anything underneath that level, I will happily stack in even more sales. But so far we see that we're in $500. I just wanted us to reach 30k, so I can even just close over here. Let's just close and call it happy week, okay? So see that we have made 13k profit. But as I've been telling you guys, underneath that level, price is bearish, okay? Price can go all the way down here. I don't care because I've already pulled out and I've hit my profit target of 30k. Therefore, I don't really care that much. But yeah, that's it. Taking a 5k account to 30k, okay? Because if you guys observe, this was the last trade that I took. I bought, it says 18, in 24k. Then after some time, price decided to go against us, but it's okay.